What is up, everyone? It is DJ Martini Midwest Reviews coming at you with another video for my channel today. I have a good one. I have a DJ controller. It has been a while since I've had a DJ controller, but today I have the Numark Mixstream Pro. It just made sense for me to pick it up. I was looking at some other ones too that we'll talk about a little bit later, but this is the one I picked up, so I'm going to give you all the pros and cons and my thoughts on this controller. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you've never tuned into my channel, DJ Martini Midwest Reviews, that's what I do. I like to review items. I like to check things out, give tutorials, give you information, do all the research for you so you don't have to, give it to you all as easy as possible, and then leave some links in case you guys are interested in some of these products. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to all my subscribers. We're going to keep trucking slowly but surely, building my channel with great subscribers like you guys. Thanks for all the feedback and questions and all that good stuff. So continue. Welcome to the Martini Nation, and let's continue building my channel. So the Numark Mixstream Pro, it is a standalone controller. If anybody doesn't know what that means, and if you're a beginning DJ, then this is kind of what you're looking for when you're beginning. You want something easy to use. It's lightweight, portable, all that good stuff, and you don't have to take a bunch of equipment with you. And when you're first starting, equipment is one of the biggest things that you're looking into. We all know if you're a beginning DJ, you want a laptop and you want a controller, and that's really going to help you. And you also want some speakers, and this thing kind of mixes all those main things that you need right away. So you're automatically, boom, you're in the door, and you can really work with this to start building your DJ persona and your skills, because this controller can really get done a lot of things that you couldn't do with other controllers. So there are other standalone controllers, but this one just adds an extra piece with speakers as well. So we're gonna get all into it. So let's get into price point really quick. This retailed for $6.99. It is down to $4.99 right now, and that's kind of another reason why I'm getting into this, because right now with the value at $4.99, that just jumps out at you right away. It's a great price, especially since it was just, I swear, $5.99. So it's been kind of jumping around in price, but I wanted to bring it to you. I love to bring all my subscribers values, and if you're a beginning DJ or things like that, this thing is a hot ticket at $4.99. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you an overview of what this all has, the back, the front, those types of things. We'll get into specs a little bit, and then I'm going to show you how to hook it up. So let's dive in right here. We're going to start right at the top and just kind of work our way down and around. You do have your headphone section right here. So you have a volume, you have your mix, and you can go to headphones or the main, which is very, very cool on a controller of this caliber. So very nice that it has that. You have a filter on this side. You have a quick lighting button. This does have a smart lighting control that work with the Philips Hue lighting. A very cool feature that I'll kind of show you a little bit later. I don't have Philips Hue lighting, but I do wish they would open this up to maybe some other lights that might work with that, like a GO system. The GO systems are very, very cool out there. Philips Hue is the only one that works with the lighting at the moment, unless you're doing DMX or controllers or stuff like that. So we're going to go down here. You do have a 6-inch platter, which is cool. I do like that they've had bigger platters lately on these controllers. They used to be so small, and it's nice to be able to get your hand on this, and it feels nice. Nice jog wheel. The only thing I wish they would have done is maybe, since this is a upscale standalone controller, if they would have put the little screens here that they have in the FX Mix Track Platinum, that would have been sweet. They do have a scratch mode button here, so you have your smart and your normal scratch mode. I'll show you that in a little bit. But you do have sync, cue, play, pause, a shift button here. You do have cue, saved loop, auto loop, and roll. Pitch bend right here. You do have a short pitch fader, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But nice that they all have all that. These pads are nice. These are not plastic clickety buttons. These are really good pads. They feel nice. Something you find a more expensive controller, they do have those pads on this. Then you notice at the bottom you do have speakers. You do have 2 speakers. One is front facing right here, and this one is at like a 45-degree angle kind of up at you. So very cool that it has speakers, and we'll get into those a little bit later as well. You do have your 7-inch screen right here. Very, very nice, very, very useful. I think that's enough screen that it doesn't mess with your eyes or anything. A 7-inch screen is just enough that you can see everything and still get everything done, I think, in my opinion. So it is a very nice size for a screen. So you do have a nice screen there. You do have your full treble, mids, and bass right here, EQ, 3-band EQ, and you do have your level mix right here. You do have some up faders that feel really nice. They have some tension to them, so they're not like probably great for scratching. They're not super free flowing, but the crossfader is better for scratching, in my opinion. You can scratch on this. It's not the best experience, but you definitely can get it done. So just want to put that out there. You do have a browse button, which I always love on controllers, but this one you definitely need it, of course, since it's a standalone. And you have your loads, your back button, and a view button to change some things with the screen. We'll show you that when we get there. You have 4 FX. Now, I don't know why they kind of shortened most, like the Mixtrack FX or the Mixtrack Platinum FX, they have 6, and I don't know why they can't have just kept 6. You know, 4 is cool, and they are some of the ones that I normally use. Echo, delay, flanger, and phaser are some good ones, but you know, it'd be nice to have a little bit more. Maybe they can do some software updates where they can add FX somehow, and they can go in place of some of these. You do have 2 VU meters right here that work for main gain, and they also work for channel gain, so you can change that in the features in the software as well. The other side, you have the same thing on the other side, except for up here you do have a quick Wi-Fi button, so you can turn your Wi-Fi on and off, sorry, and you can also have a main speaker out and your speaker volume for your monitor, so you can control both, which is an excellent idea. I'm glad they put some volumes so you can control your monitor volumes and you can control your main out volume. So that's pretty much the controller. On the top side, let's go to the front real quick. You do have both jacks right here, quarter jack and 3.5, which is, I think, great. Once again, it gives you that ability to do multiple things. If you have some old school headphones that use quarter jack, you have that. If you have newer school headphones that have 3.5, you got that. So it gives you some ways to get things done. Like I said, you can kind of see that front facing driver in the front. They're not huge. Probably, like I said, that's probably a 2-inch little driver, but they have some volume and they actually sound pretty good. So pretty surprising. You can see that this one is facing like at a 45 right here, and this one is straight forward. So you can kind of see those. Good little view there. Here's your microphone. You got 1 quarter jack microphone for dynamic mics, and you have your volume gain right here. Let's talk about some of the features on the back. Power button here. You do have a little cord lock here, which is cool, so you can run your cable through there, and then you make sure that your power cord's not going to get pulled out or anything. So that's a nice little feature. A little tightener there. You have a USB for your computer to go out to your computer, which they don't have a lot of things to do with right now, but I'm pretty sure in the future they'll have more. You can hook this up to Virtual DJ. We'll talk about that a little bit later. 2 USB sources, which is cool. So you can have multiple USB hooked in here with multiple, you know, if you have a bunch of tracks that you want to put on different drives, you can. You have a SD card reader right here, full size SD card will go in there, and that is also a source where you can plug in your music. You have RCA outs, and on a controller like this, it's surprising to have these XLR outs, which is awesome because if you are a professional DJ, this is what you're going to find a lot, and so it's nice that they have them. Once again, this is a controller that can kind of grow with you. I think that's really, really cool that it has pads down there. You can see there is some built-in handles on the bottom, so you can kind of hold it sturdy. This is not very heavy, so this is really, really cool and portable. Like I said, go ahead and fire it up. Let's check it out. Let's hook it up. So we're going to go ahead and tip this up here. We're going to go ahead and plug it in here. One other thing you'll need, I do have an adapter. You can see something you might look into if you have 3.5 millimeter jack. I'm hooking this up to some computer speakers, but this will be my main out here, and I'm going to use the RCAs. But this is a nice adapter from Hosa, very, very nice, and works fantastic. So another thing is I actually have a hard drive. This is a 256 gig SSD, but you could use just normal HDD as well. There we go. So that's plugged in. So I got a hard drive here. You could use a regular USB thumbstick, and we could go in there if you wanted to, or you could use a full SD card, which would go right in here like that. So very, very cool that you have all those options. So we're gonna go ahead and set this down here. I'll show you what it's like when you fire it up. Your lights come on here. I have the latest update with the 2.4.0. You do have the Engine DJ software. That's something completely different. I'm not going to get into that a lot, but that's how you would load some of the music on this. You can just take MP3s and plug right in, and it will read them, but it won't give you some of the information like some of the BPM and key and stuff like that until you go ahead and play that song. Then it'll give you that information, and then you'd have to do it each song. So it's a lot faster to go into the Engine DJ software and go ahead and, you know, load all your songs. It'll read them all, and then you can put them back and load them back on this, and then all your information will be in there. So right here you can see that I have all my tracks. I have my source. Like I said, if you had different sources, you can do online Wi-Fi type sources like Tidal, Dropbox, SoundCloud, BeatSource Link, Beatport Link. And when you buy this, they actually give you some free trials, so you can go ahead and check a lot of those out. Dropbox, they give you 25 gigs free for a couple months. They have SoundCloud for free trial period, and they have both Beatport and BeatSource Link for a trial period as well. So check those out. If you buy this, register your product, and they will give you free codes to download some of those. So that's a pretty good deal. And I have all my playlists here, and you can see that it is very responsive. If you touch something, it's going to pop up quick, and you can see that the speed's pretty fast as well. I can go through all my playlists. I have a lot of music. We're going to go to my little free playlist, which has some little samples that we can mess around with here. But you also have a prepare file. You can drag songs on here. That way you know what's going to be coming up next. You have a history. You have some your extra folders here. And you have a search, and you can search by BPM, key, album, artist, and when you hit search, there comes your keyboard, and the keyboard works good as well. Go ahead and load this song with the load button right here. Now you can also press the song here, so if I wanted to go down and select this song, but if I click down with here, you can tell which side you want, and you can use the knob to pick what you want. Or you can touch the screen as well and you'll load it. So just some different options there. But very, very cool to be able to do. You have the song loaded. You do have, this is your kind of your FX down here. If you had, I noticed that I have an FX right there. And if I go to my other, it changes how that is. I have it on the beats, tells your BPM and your time of your song as well. You can change that as well. Like if you want, you know, time elapsed or all that. Let's go down, drag down, and get to your options really quick. You do have your source again, which will take you to how many drives you have. You can go to your computer mode here, which will be important if you used other software. You have your Wi-Fi, and then you have your exit out. Once again, you have Tidal, SoundCloud, BeatSource, and Beatport Link. You can record as well. And then you have some control right here with quantize, continue. This is your start stop for your platters. Like if you want them to kind of go when you shut down, you can turn that on a little bit. Or you have an X fader, FX advance right there. You have your contour, you have a B grid edit. You can get into settings here. And you also have device settings, mixer settings, mic settings. You have your update here, which is kind of important, so you can get into reboot mode or factory reset, things like that. Use your profile so you can adjust all kinds of things. I'm not going to go through all this, but you can go through a lot of things and adjust, you know, what you want for quantize and play pause, you know, display, how you want, if you want file name or metadata. I kind of want file name actually. So I'm going to go there. Key filters, how you want your BPM range, things like that. So you have a lot of different settings. And you can see, I'm going to go ahead and turn the volume. You can see that's about 75% there. We're going to put a cue right here so you see how the cues work. They definitely work. Fade over. You can hear the volume. It's got a scratch. So you can see that with the smart and normal mode, smart mode is going to start from where you left off. Normal mode is just your normal scratch mode, and then the song starts. So just to let you know there. Go ahead and get this side. So you can see the speakers work pretty well. They sound pretty good in my opinion. They're not super loud, but they work good enough to get the job done as monitors, or if you need to practice at home or whatever, you don't need your headphone. Well, I mean, you can use your headphones, but you don't need them because you got monitors pointing right at you. So you can kind of hear your mix, mess around, and kind of helps you out with the sound of your music. Show you what it is to shut down really quick. So you're gonna just press the power button in the back here, and then it's gonna ask you to turn off the player, and I wanna say yes. And make sure you shut down everything before you start disconnecting everything. Could mess up your hard drive there. You can also eject it if you want to do that. You can do that in the software as well. And then once you have it fully off, then I go ahead and unplug it first, and then I go ahead and pull my hard drive and any cables from it as well. And that's how quick you could be done after a gig. You know, boom, this is ready to go. You can put it in your bag, whatever you got to carry it out, and you're good to go. So that's very, very portable. All right, everybody, let's do positives and negatives. We're gonna kind of put out the specs on this and the positives, negatives at the same time, because a lot of them are positives. So definitely price point is positive right now. This retailed for $6.99 when it first came out. It's dropped down to $4.99 right now. And I think that's a fantastic deal for any beginning DJ to skip out on some stuff. You don't need a laptop, so you're gonna skip out on a laptop. You just need this. You can get going, start practicing, do everything you need. This has some cool FX, great pads, things like that. So it's a great starter controller. Absolutely. Save up your money for a little bit, because most controllers run that are decent around $299 anyways. This is $4.99. Yes, that's 200 more bucks, but definitely worth it in my opinion to get this controller. You might even be able to find a warehouse deal or something for a little bit cheaper. So save up the extra 200 bucks and pick this up, because not only is it going to be a controller that you can keep in your kit for a long time, you can go ahead and upgrade, but I guarantee this is something you're going to keep for a while. Even if you start getting better, become a better DJ, more intermediate, professional, whatever, this is something you can keep in your kit that you're going to be able to take around with you, use in your bedroom. You will find a use for it. So that is very, very cool, and definitely a positive 10 times over. So one of the biggest positives in my opinion, price point and the capabilities with this to skip out on some things that you need to buy, like a laptop, speakers, things like that. It does have Wi-Fi and streaming with Tidal, BeatSourceLink, SoundCloud, BeatPortLink, Dropbox, and like I said, you can get some free trials if you register your product. So check that out. It does have the Pro Light capability with the smart lighting control, Philips Hue lighting, which is an extra 150 bucks. So if you want to spend an extra 150 bucks for some lighting and you can control it with this controller, that could be an option for you. You do have 4 FX slots, which is cool. They all work great, and there's some decent FX, but I hope they can add some more to that. It does work with the Engine DJ software, the Engine OS, the same thing that Denon DJ uses with the Prime 4, Prime GO, Prime series. So check that out. Definitely a software you're going to want to look into, because it's very important to help you get your library over into this, and also have like your BPMs and everything mapped out already in your music. So kind of something you need to look into. You can just throw in a thumb drive with some MP3 songs and get going right away, but if you really want to be prepared, you're going to want to get into that software. So check that out. The built-in speakers, they're not super loud, but they do sound good, and they're loud enough for what you need. You can fill a good size small room or bedroom with those, add some monitors, and you could do a small little house party. Absolutely would be easy to do. Those are a bunch of positives there. Like I said, God, there's so much I want to go over, but I want to keep this down. But let's go into some of the negatives in this. One is the 4 pads. I'm going to get a little picky, but I wish they would have just made this controller just 2 inches longer. And you could have had the 4 pads, a long pitch fader, you'd have a long throw pitch fader, and you could have still had the speakers. You just had to make this 2 inches longer. And I still think it would be a portable controller, even just being 2 inches longer, and you could have added the 8 pads. Another thing is I wish because this is very compatible to, or besides not having the screen and being standalone, to the Mixtrack Platinum FX and it has the LED screens in the jog wheels. If they could have put that on the Mixstream as well, this would have been a crazy controller. It would have been an absolute, and I would have paid an extra a couple $100 for to be able to have the LED in the middle, which could have told you some information. Also could have tracked, where your jog wheel is, things like that. Oh man, would have been a crazy controller with just some added things they could have added to this controller, because the Mixtrack Platinum and the Mixtrack Pro FX are both $279 or $249 for the Pro FX, and it has also the 6FX. So like I said, if they could have just made this controller just a little bit bigger, you might have been able to fit, you could have put 6, vertically instead of horizontally. You could have put them 6FX down, and you could have added so much more to this controller, and people probably would have paid a little bit extra for that, because having the 8 pads, having the screens in the jog wheels, having the standalone screens as well, boom, that would have been just a fantastic controller that would have just blown a lot of stuff away for what Numark can do. It would have competed with, a lot of other brands out there for how cool this could have been. This is still very cool, but it could have been off the charts crazy. But I know with price and things like that, they probably just wanted to get something out there that is pretty solid, and this is definitely pretty solid. A little picky with, wish it had the extra 4 pads, wish it had a long throw pitch fader, and just would have changed the layout of just a little bit if they could have made the whole controller 2 inches longer. All right, everyone, this has been the Numark Mixstream Pro. Really excited to bring it to you. A standalone controller, new technology, only been out for probably about a year. The Numark Mixstream Pro is a standalone controller. You can use it all by itself. You don't need a laptop. It's got its own speakers. It's also working with Virtual DJ and Serato Pro. You can use it along with your laptop if you wish, but it can stand alone. It's very portable, very lightweight, very cool. You can stream, do all kinds of things with it. And, I really do like it. I really think it's a really top-notch controller. It could use a couple extras if I want to get picky, but it's a really good controller, and the price point right now is really, really good at $499. So I will be making another video on the good old Virtual DJ versus Serato, which one I like to use it with more. That video will be coming up in a couple videos, so check that out. I also will talk about the couple issues I had to get those to work, but I'll also talk about how Numark customer support was very, very helpful in helping me get that done as well. So thank you so much for tuning in. It's been DJ Martini Midwest Reviews. Lock into my channel. I got a lot more coming, including more on the Mixstream Pro coming up really soon. So stay tuned for that. Like, subscribe, get notified, click the bell, whatever you need to do so you know when I upload my newest videos. All right, talk to you later.